closing, you're going to go back to your desk and grab a slate, a marker, and an eraser. A what?
Slate, a marker, and an eraser.
Blue row, you can tiptoe back. And green row, you take your bunny hops back. A slate, a marker, and an eraser, and come back to the carpet, please. Thank you, Peyton. Good job, Kevin and Ellery.
After having watched the two videos, one classroom being disruptive and the other classroom being organized, what is guiding one classroom to order and respect while the other classroom is acting disorderly and disrespectful? Take a second to think about this while we continue the video. For starters, the most clear example between the chaotic and organized classrooms is the role that the teachers play in the classroom, with an emphasis on giving clear instruction to students. In this clip, we can see the organized teacher clearly communicate directions to her students about which items are required in the next task. On the contrast, in this clip of the disruptive classroom, we can see that the teacher attempts to clap hands and wave fingers in the air while the students ignore this attempt at capturing their attention. Another noticeable point that viewers may notice is that most of the whiteboards and poster boards in this classroom are blank. Students thrive under routine scheduling and staying busy both mentally and physically, as this will avoid the potential for distractions and misbehavior. Circling back to the clips of the organized classroom, what type of activity is presented in this classroom when the students are transitioning between tasks? In the organized classroom, the students are forced to engage in brief, structured movement routines that are led by the teacher. These steps are intentionally both directed and clear to avoid confusion and a lack of accountability. This helps the teacher easily transition her students from one task to another and help them shift their focus smoothly. Next, I will display some other structured movement routines that are similar to ones in this clip.
A deep, steady breath is cleansing and calming. It can help you focus and get through things that are tough. The 350 girls at Cleveland's Douglas MacArthur Girls Academy have been doing yoga for a while now.
Yes.
Just about a half hour a few times a week. It's the break in the day that can make the day a lot better.
Feel good, it makes you comfortable. It doesn't make you nervous anymore. It just makes you really comfortable.
Are the first person to get to do the human treasure hunt. What you're going to do is you're going to write your name at the top. You're going to get a pencil and you're going to start walking around. You find somebody who says that pizza is their favorite dinner and you write their name there. Try and get a different name in every box.
Okay.
You do it, Claire. Do you have a dog?
You write the name and say no and yes.
Samarine?
Yeah.
Does one of your parents work in New York City?
No.
Now let's revise vocabulary. So you remember this game, I know 5 words for, okay? I know 5 words for drinks. 1, milk. 2, melon juice. 3, water. 4, Coca-Cola. And 5, coffee.
Now that we watched those clips, we may notice some similarities between them. So, what type of events are occurring inside of these classrooms? Are they being used effectively towards learning? If so, how? These events are known as aerobic instruction. Giving students the opportunity to free up tension through physical exercises results in enhanced moods and focus levels. This teaching approach strengthens the mental endurance of students and develops higher levels of participation, along with more efficient completion and comprehension of class material.
They feel not only stronger from a physical sense, but they feel stronger from a mental perspective. They're able to control their emotions, they're able to control their body, they're able to make their own choices.
So now this leads us to our essential question of the video. How can we utilize aerobic instruction in the classroom to reinforce focus and engagement and influence positive development within our students? Now, before we answer our essential question, let's segue into a transition question first. What types of positive influences can aerobic instruction have on the development of students? Firstly, cognitive development is arguably the most necessary development for students to be able to grow and succeed as learners in the classroom. Cognitive and aerobic exercises can be paired through executive functioning, where completing tasks efficiently is most important. Clear, concise, and accessible instructions are necessary to help students comprehend assignments, which in turn avoids time for students to wane off during transitional periods. As you can see in this clip, the teacher is playing a game with the students where they have to pass a ball back and forth between herself and a student of her random choice, where they select a word that corresponds to the topic. This can also be done in other subjects like social studies or mathematics. This is a great way to influence cognitive development through aerobics. Social development also plays a vital role in the growth of learners. How students interact and communicate with their peers and teachers on a social level offers valuable insights into their interpersonal skills and emotional intelligence. Social exercises are practiced often and constantly in the classroom without students even realizing it. These exercises, such as icebreaker, introduction games, group projects, and random calling, encourages students to interact and engage with their classmates. Having students communicate with their classmates will stimulate their bodies by increasing heart rate, which wakes the body up from remaining seated in the same position for too long and will prevent poor circulation or low energy levels. This results in students becoming more alert, focused, and attentive towards their activities, and will also lead us to our final form of development. Finally, physical development can be the most related to aerobics. Applying these types of activities in the classroom may be difficult for certain subjects, but it is not impossible. Hosting scavenger hunts, spelling bees, dance breaks, or even relay races will engage both social collaboration along with competitive physical energy within students. Additionally, using yoga and stretching between tasks is extremely beneficial for high energy students who need that time in between subjects to decompress and refocus their brains. Physical development is seen to enhance mental endurance and peer compatibility, which will inevitably enhance a student's cognitive and social development. Influencing teachers to incorporate these new experiences and opportunities for students will benefit everyone in the classroom.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Moreover, suppose students recognize that physical activity guides their brains to function more effectively. In that case, it will teach and encourage these students to adopt exercise as a lifelong habit throughout their youth and adulthood.
They can reach for that emotional support in whatever it might be to make them take a step back and pause and think about, what has happened and that they can move on.
In conclusion, now we can answer our essential question. So, how can we utilize aerobic instruction in the classroom to reinforce focus and engagement and influence positive development within our students? Well, through the variety of aerobic activities that were displayed throughout this video, such as stretching, yoga, scavenger hunts, vocabulary games, movement exercises, freeze dance, spelling bees, icebreaker introductions, group projects, relay races, and more, we can see that this reinforces focus and engagement by positively impacting students' moods and concentration levels, and it produces immediate boosts in mood, attention, and fosters a supportive learning environment for all students and teachers.
Now sit up tall and fold forward, bringing your head between your knees, and let your hands hang down to your feet. Let your head hang and breathe. Good. Now slowly come up.
When implemented into daily classroom routines, this can influence positive development within students in 3 key areas that we talked about in this video: cognitive development, social development, and physical development. Cognitively, aerobic activities increase blood flow to enhance memory and executive functioning skills. This can be seen through cognitive aerobic teaching techniques such as memory movement games and other problem-solving processes. Socially, aerobic activities foster communication and teamwork skills that provide a more dynamic and collaborative atmosphere. This can be seen through social aerobic teaching techniques such as scavenger hunts and projects that involve direct interaction with classmates. Physically, aerobic activities heighten energy levels and release tension, allowing students time to decompress after mentally strenuous tasks and prepare for smooth transitions into the next activity. This can be seen through physical aerobic teaching techniques such as yoga, stretching, and dance breaks.
So in the morning, if we did a physical activity break, there was a decrease in off-task motor behavior. So things like fidgeting or walking around the classroom, bouncing around in their seat, anything like that. Whereas in the afternoon, when we did an activity break, off-task passive behavior was reduced. So that's when students would be sitting in their chairs, kind of staring off into space or being distracted. So they didn't have as much of that in the afternoon after a physical activity break.
Altogether, these cognitive, social, and physical benefits create a more productive, engaging, and inclusive learning environment for all students of all ages through aerobic instruction. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.